A 12th atmospheric river since late December makes its way into San Diego County. We've seen flooding, crashes on our roads, and other damage throughout the day. Tonight, parts of the county are under a flood warning as the rain picks back up this evening. Good evening. I'm Carlo Cicchetto.
I'm Marcella Lee. That rain and wind are expected to get even stronger as we move into the nighttime hours. Tonight we have team coverage. CBS 8's Shannon Handy will show us what's been happening up and down our coast today. Our Jesse Pagan is live in Mission Valley, an area prone to flooding anytime we see heavy rain.
But first, let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Carlene Chavis here with your early first microclimate forecast. Carlene.
That's right. We are talking about those flood warnings, and they're in the typical areas that we start to see flooding. You're talking about the Santa Margarita River as well as the San Diego River, especially Mission Valley. When you're taking a look at what's going on right now, we did have a little bit of a clearing by the afternoon hours as far as wet weather. We were still holding on to the cloud cover, but now we're starting to see that next batch moving in. So we are starting to see more of those raindrops, and that's going to be the case from tonight all the way through tomorrow morning. And a whole lot more of that moisture is in store for us. We're already starting to have some flood advisories popping up across San Bernardino County as well as Riverside, where we're seeing some of those heavier pockets of rainfall. But we are looking at that in our forecast too. So we did have heavy rainfall earlier today with the atmospheric river rolling through, but now you're talking about this area of low pressure closing in, so we're still holding on to chances for rain. Looking at the potential for downpours, that's around 7:40 for tonight. So a line stretching all the way from Palomar Mountain towards the South Bay. And then you're also noticing a difference. Snow. We're going to have that developing with that low pressure system getting closer towards us and still holding on to chances as we go all the way through tomorrow morning. Now, our Jesse Pagan is at the San Diego River, which is closed due to the flooding, and he has more on the latest with the water levels. Jesse?
Yeah, Carlene, this is the scene that we've come to know, right? It rains heavily and the San Diego River floods throughout Mission Valley, Fashion Valley, and this entire area. Over this shoulder of mine, you can see the barricade right there, road closed, the flooded signs, some of the water pooling around the legs of those signs. And that's because of this. The river, as always, flows over the streets right here. And there are several spots throughout Mission Valley and Fashion Valley where this is the case, and it is barricaded and closed off. Now, the National Weather Service data for this point shows the San Diego River is at 9.64 feet, which is called the action stage. It's been rising pretty quickly since the round of rain started. The NWS is forecasting the river will get to 11.3 feet by about 4 tomorrow morning, which is right at the start of the flood stage. Once it gets to 13.5 feet, that's moderate flood stage, and then at 16.5 feet and deeper is that major flooding stage. Now, we've come to expect this in parts of Mission Valley to flood like this for decades, but you know, it still seems to catch people's attention and cause some headaches.
I think about the green, which is great. I know California needs the water, you know, and it's beautiful to see all the green plants and the flowers, but then the drainage hits me again. I'm like, I wish we had better drainage.
Now, some context for all of this. Mission Valley is a natural floodplain for the San Diego River, and Mission Valley was built with that in mind and around that, which is why we see this to continually happen. The City of San Diego spokesperson tells me in a statement today that this is why they know about this and why they proactively set up barricades like this in these areas to make sure people don't drive or, you know, walk or even bike across them, as we've seen sometimes happen, especially today. Now, of course, Carlene, you've been talking about this throughout this entire time. There is more rain coming. It just started about an hour ago or so, and we can expect some changes here. However, the forecasters aren't expecting the river to get past any of these deeper flood stages aside from the minor one. Carlo, Marcella?
All right, Jesse, thanks for that look there. Another area getting hit hard by the storm is the coast.
CBS 8's Shannon Handy is in La Jolla Shores with more on today's stormy conditions and the damage left behind.
I'm here on La Jolla Shores Drive, where you can see this massive stone pine tree behind me toppled over during today's storm. Now, a removal service, as you can see, is on hand to clean it up. Fortunately, the tree did not hit any structures. Earlier, I was down in Mission Beach, which at one point got pounded by heavy rain and extreme winds. During a break in today's storm, city crews came out to assess the damage left behind from this stone pine tree, which fell outside a home on La Jolla Shores Drive. Earlier in the day, conditions out here are wild. Hurricane-like conditions took over Mission Beach.
It is just crazy. It's so windy. And I know when I go down that way, when I'm coming back, I could probably go like this and have the wind hold me up.
Patty Machin was one of very few people out on the boardwalk. She walks here daily, and despite the conditions, today was no exception. That was also the case for this windsurfer, who was the only one in the water despite lifeguards advising against it. Meanwhile, this lone bike rider was out enjoying himself as well. What are you doing out here?
Having fun. Just having a good time. I love this. We got the whole place to ourselves. This is great.
Some businesses, however, have a different perspective. We watched as employees at Hamels frantically moved everything, including themselves, inside as the rain and wind swept through. Over in South Mission Beach, the storm led to some minor flooding at the intersection of Mission Boulevard and San Gabriel Place. This area is a trouble spot during heavy downpours, hence the sandbags which businesses around here have on hand. Aside from potential water damage, owners around here say this type of weather dampens sales as well.
It's great, but at the same time, it affects the business. You know, San Diego does need some rain, but it does affect the business. Like, you know, there's not much people that would come to the beach, in this weather, obviously.
Back here in La Jolla Shores, even though this tree is not blocking the roadway, keep in mind traffic will be a bit slower as crews continue their work. For CBS 8, I'm Shanna Handy.
Thank you, Shannon. The storm caused problems all over San Diego. This happened in Sorrento Valley earlier today. Sorrento Valley Road had to be blocked off near Carmel Mountain Drive, cutting off a stretch of businesses from Interstate 5. Flooding from the rain covered nearly the entire roadway.
And as we told you, those trees are causing problems for homeowners and drivers. The westbound lanes of Camino del Norte and Black Mountain Ranch were blocked this morning when this large tree came crashing down. We still don't know if anyone was hurt. Drivers were warned to stay out of the area while crews cleared the road. And as always, we want to see the weather where you live or any damage. If it's safe for you to head out and take photos or videos, you can share them with us easily on our free CBS 8 app. Just go to the Near Me section at the bottom and tap on the Share With Us button.